Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, on our board here, as usual, we have our model from our last video, and I'll reference that up there in the corner. So we're going to go through a slight review and see if we can answer some of the comments and questions that have come up. And before we start, we're having a little green tea and white tea fusion to keep calm and peaceful. Now, in our model here, we started out with the infinite field of everything, which is a big question mark, because we don't know what it is. We think we know, and when we get ideas, we can then develop possibilities of what might be here. So in our little model, we, starting over here, which this little circle represents your world. And you take in information from your senses. Should be 5 lines here, 5 senses. You filter that information through what you know to be true for you, your belief system. And what doesn't match your belief system, therefore not true for you, you filter it out. And on the other side of this belief system is good data, or data that matches your understanding, through which you make your belief system. And you see me in there as a little stick figure because I am basically out here as an energy being. And by the way, I have another video on that about, I don't remember exactly, but it has something to do with, can you be anything but an energy being in this environment? So this is me as you create me in your world. I'm out here. This is your creation of me. Now I know you think you are seeing me the way I am, but you're not. You're seeing me the way you are. Very important distinction there. Now over here we have represented an instrument. This happens to be a readout of, this is a readout, or an instrument, readout, a oscilloscope, a television camera, or something like that, a readout of a program that a instrument designer put together to represent what is out here in the infinite field of everything. And we took a cell of the body. So this represents a cell in the body. I say represents because information is taken in, and then because of the designer, there is a program. There's a program that takes this information and matches the reflection of his understanding of this infinite field in relationship to cells of the body, as an example. Okay, so the information comes in through the program, and information that comes in that doesn't match the program is disregarded or thrown out. So after that, after the program, you have good information to your readout instrument, and this represents not what's here. This represents the designer's understanding. It is not here. It is a theory that he has come up with what might be there. And the program solidifies that this information matches what his understanding is, not what's out here. So basically, if you look at it real close, I added one word down here. And it's a word that's used a lot, and I have some videos on this word. And what is the word? Simulation. Simulation. The readout of the instrument reflects the designer's belief system. And it is a simulation. A simulation of the program. Now, what is here? Over here. This is a readout, your world. It's a simulation of what you believe is here. It is your creation, your simulation. A lot of thought about simulations recently on YouTube and science and everything. Are we living in a simulation? Yes, we are. But we don't need aliens or a supercomputer someplace in the universe to make our simulation. These are simulations of what we think might be here, but we never know. So this simulation represents the most complicated device in the universe, or one of them. You're the creator of the simulation. Now, on a conscious level, you think you're very small, very small. But on a subconscious level, you are an extension of consciousness. You are the most complicated instrument in the universe. You don't need aliens living on the dark side of the moon. You're dark enough, just the way it is. So that's what we talked about last time. So you can look that up, and it will be interesting. And now we're going to go on with a new topic. And this is our subject for today. And let me read it off my little paper. Awesome process. How to change your lens of perception. How to change your lens of perception. Now, first thing, in the egoic world, we have a definition. And I'm going to put it up here. And this is from the APA, American Psychiatric Association. And this is what it says. Perception. The process or result of becoming aware of objects, relationships, and events by means of the senses. By means of the senses. So, this is our little model for today. And so, in the egoic world, perception is about sense perception. That's what it says. So we're going to take a different look at it, and it'll be very familiar because we're using the same models that we have used before. Now, if you followed this channel, there are several models. Each video that I do, I try to present a model to make it a little clearer to understand. And first understanding is everything is here in this infinite field of everything that we're embedded in. Now, in the egoic world, we don't think we're embedded in any kind of infinite field. We think, well, we see things around us. We see things, and we touch things, and we smell things, and there's stuff there. It's not here dead, infinite, just energy. It's real stuff. Well, we've looked at that before, and you can go back and look at the other things. I'm not going to reference it. Okay, I will reference it. I don't know where I'll find it, but I'll find it, and it will probably be through Google, because Google knows a lot. And that is everything energy? Is everything energy? And I think it says scientifically everything is energy. But I'll find it and I'll put it up here and we'll see how close I came. Now this is our model, okay? And it looks very similar, and I'll put a reference to a playlist that has, and I think it is the standard model for the illusion, because this is what we've been working with. It's the same thing, but we put different clothes on it and we march it around different ways because you see it differently through your lens of perception. So that's what we're talking about. How do you change that in such a way that you see a different world? Now, in our model, again, our senses, right here, these represent our 5 senses, are picking up information from this infinite field, and we are filtering that information through our lens of perception. And what's our lens of perception? Our belief system. So on the other side of this lens is something different than's over here. Over here is everything. Over here, if you're manifesting, yeah, well, that's where everything is. Why don't you have it here, what you want? Your lens of perception. So if you know how to change your lens of perception, you can get what you want over here, because it's here waiting for you. So let's look again at this. Here's the outside infinite field of everything, which has everything you want. And you don't have it here because of your lens. And what is your lens? Your belief system. So when you go to change your lens, what must you change? Your belief system. And what does your belief system have inside of it? It's in the subconscious mind. All your memories of events that are gone. And your memories are not the events. Your memories are your unique interpretation of events that are now gone. So since they're gone and your memories are not the event, you have no idea what happened in the past. You only have your unique created memories based upon your older beliefs. You have no idea what's here. Isn't that strange? Isn't that fantastic? But the way the egoic world looks at it now, through this lens of perception, on the other side of it is information different than what your lens, what your senses are sending to this lens of perception. So on the other side, you have something different. And it is this difference that makes your world. And put me in your world, because you are still experiencing me through this video, through your lens of perception. So you're not seeing me. You're seeing your interpretation of me. So you never see me. If you look on my end of the video, I'll have 3 seconds of a little clip that says, you never see me. Oh, and you might think about that. So now we have this lens of perception. And it is causing you to have the world that you have. And if you want a different lens, if you want a different world, you have to change your lens. So you have to change your belief system. So let us look a little closer at this. Now, right here in your lens of perception, what would happen if you had no lens of perception? Let's take this lens out. We'll take it out right here. Now we have no lens of perception. We have no filtering system. What would you experience? What could you experience? Look at the model. What do you got to experience? What's the only thing you have to experience directly? The infinite field of everything. So without your lens, you would see this the way it is. You would see me the way I am. And I would see you the way you are. Oh, that could be a little scary. So now, right here, we have your world with no filter. And so you are experiencing the everything, the all consciousness. You have no belief system. So all you have to experience directly is the infinite field of everything. Now, I want you to think about this, because I wrote this little, oh, I dropped my marker. I will go get it. Be right back. And here is my little marker. So now, who does not have a lens of perception? Who does not have a lens of perception? Now, you probably thought about this and you got your own answer. And you might think about that answer that you came up with for this question. Who does not have a lens of perception? Before I answer that, let's go see what A Course in Miracles has to say. And you'll see it up here. The fact that perception is involved at all removes the experience from the realm of knowledge. removes the experience from the realm of knowledge. Now see, that's a little esoteric. What is the lens? What is the realm of knowledge? Reality. Reality. Without this lens of perception, you see reality. And what does that mean? There's no egoic world. There's no illusion. You perceive directly. Now, who does not have a lens of perception? Oh, you see them every day, and you don't recognize it. Why? Because you don't think they know anything. So they're going down the street. They're walking down the street, and you say, oh, there's somebody that doesn't have any lens of perception. Well, who is it? A child. A child has no lens of perception. But in the egoic world, we quickly force a belief system on them and give them a lens of perception. So as soon as we can, we take that infinite child and we give them a lens of perception that matches ours, so that they can see the egoic world the way we do. But I want you to think about that, along with other stuff that we've talked about so far. Unless you become as a little child, you can't enter the kingdom. Unless you become as a little child without a lens of perception, you can't see the infinite field of everything. Now, when I say see, you're not using your eyes. Your senses do not pick up that information. It is an interpretation without a lens of perception. So next time you see a little child, toddler, walking around, looking, he's much closer to this field of everything and recognizing it than you are. So quickly force him into seeing the lens of perception and his world the way you do. The way each of us, each culture, each country, each civilization, so we can all be separate and not be one. Because this is one. This is oneness. Oh. Now to get there or closer to this lens, because we have a lens, to make it clearer, as clear as you can, you have to change your belief system. You have to heal yourself. You have to take your negative memories and you have to forgive yourself for interpreting them and holding on to them in such a negative way. Because they're gone. The events are gone. And we want to hold on and make people responsible and blame them for stuff that we think they did, but never did, because it's our interpretation based upon our old beliefs. And as you make that lens clear, as this lens now becomes clear with no filter except happy memories, forgiven memories, you can't enter in the kingdom. You don't know what this is. You can do all the meditations in the world, but unless you heal this part of you, you're not going to see it. You can go on all of the journeys of spiritual growth, but unless you change this, it amounts to nothing. Oh, pilgrim, there is much to consider in this illusion. Behind the illusion, behind the separateness, there's only oneness. And when you clean your filter, what are you perceiving? There is no perception. What are you experiencing? Nothing. Because you will be everything in this field. Peace. We look forward to seeing you next time here in the illusion, and we'll talk about some other interesting things. Bye now.